So this video is about our trip last week to the Palouse, Steptoe, Butte, Palouse Falls, and Spokane, where we hung out with Ashley Joe and all their friends for her baby shower. It's pretty cool. Friday night we checked out and started heading over. No, probably like Friday morning actually, and it was a really windy drive. And they got these green, springy hillsides everywhere, and there was a bunch of tumbleweeds rolling down the hill everywhere, coming into the road, and everybody was smashing into them, and cars were swerving around. There was piles of tumbleweeds everywhere, so it was quite crazy. Even the locals were saying that it was abnormally windy. And halfway through, we stopped at the Burger King and got an ice cream cone, which I think they stole Dairy Queen's ice cream maker machine because it looked exactly like an ice cream from Dairy Queen. So anyway, we get over there and it's probably like 4:30. We get all the way up Steptoe Butte, which is 3,200 feet. Down in the lowlands and the hills, it's about 1,000 feet. So out of the middle of nowhere comes this huge mountain. So you drive up it kind of spiral like. We got to the top and man, it was blowing downstairs, but up there it was icy, frigid cold. So we wrapped up in our blankets and just kind of walked around trying to look for good light for photography because the Palouse is known for photography and Steptoe Butte is up above it all, so you can see some really good pano views. But it was cold and it was cloudy, rainy, frigidly windy. Andrea went back to the car. I kind of hung out for a little bit, but there's nothing to be had. But there was a sliver of light underneath all those dark clouds. And so we decided to wait it out for sunset to see if the sun would come as far down as the horizon and still have that little slit of light there. So anyway, we hung out and watched Big Bang Theory and a couple other shows, and ate dinner. We fired up the Jetboil. For tonight is Backpackers Pantry Pad Thai, which was there, and stormy, rainy, and finally, around 7 something, when the sun's about to go all the way down off the horizon, it finally broke through all those clouds and started as this little shaft of light that got bigger and bigger and bigger, and it made the best scene. This is one of the most epic landscapes I've ever seen. We jumped out of the car and I just started snapping pics like none other, and I really didn't have any of my settings right. I was so excited. I was just snapping away, pointing my camera and doing 4 and 5 different photos for the panos, and it was amazing. Still super cold, so we were running around all over the mountain, left, right, up, down in our polar fleece blankets, which we had a couple jackets on and it was still cold, but those micro fleece blankets are so awesome. So we just wore those all around the mountain. There's nobody else up there. It was basically closed. I guess nobody was foolish enough to go up there in springtime, but it's cool. I think I got a couple of really good shots, some frameable shots, and fantastic. So afterwards, we came back down and got all the way to our campsite, but then we didn't have any money for the cash-only campsite, so we had to go all the way back to something like Colfax maybe, and got some cash back from a store and got some snacks as well, Rosal's I think it was, and after that we cruised back and set up the camp in dark, and it was pretty good. Andrea even slept all right considering she's pregnant, and her boating accident bit. She can't sleep on her right side, and she can't sleep on her back because that makes her nauseous and kills the baby, and we're trying to keep the baby alive. And she can't sleep on her stomach, for obvious reasons. So we were seeing, is this going to be totally screwed up that she's sleeping on the ground in a tent? But it worked out okay. So we might be able to do maybe one more tent camp before it's impossible. But camped that night, $10 for this little camp spot. Got back up, and Saturday headed over to Spokane.
And now, before the next show starts, let's enjoy an intermission. You'll find our snack bar chock full of good things to eat and drink. Tasty, tempting hot dogs, thirst-quenching soft drinks, fresh, crunchy popcorn, a complete assortment of delicious candy, and a full line of cigarettes. Before
the baby shower, we hung out around Spokane. Andrea showed me around. I've never been to Spokane before. But besides the Spokane folks, it was pretty cool. Otherwise, there's a river that goes through the center of town that was just absolutely raging. So much water was pouring over these waterfalls. I'd never seen anything like it, and I've seen a lot of waterfalls. The water was going so fast, and it was just roiling up and making huge mist all over the place. Very cool. There was a red wagon there, a huge red wagon that you climb up into, and you can hang out up on the top and then slide down the handle. So there's Andrea sliding down it. But yeah, all in all, pretty cool town. It's like a mini Portland with the Spokaneans hanging out. And also there was a million, trillion, like really, really dressed up people, suits and ties and pencil skirts and all, and we could not figure out what are they doing in Spokane. There was thousands and thousands of them. Finally, we drove past this auditorium, and there they were, lined up around the block in their finest finds, I guess. Some entrepreneurialistic endeavor that was probably super freaking awesome for them, but I thought it was a pyramid scheme selling, I don't know what, Mary Kay or something like that. So go them, all dressed up. So yep, after that we went to the baby shower at Joe's sister's house, and that was lots of fun. Good people, really good food, couple fun games. One of them, somebody is blindfolded and the other person is feeding them baby food, and you gotta find their mouth. It was pretty funny. Another one, the guys blew up balloons and put them under our shirts to see how it feel to be pregnant, and my baby didn't blow up, so it was all right there. And all in all, really good time. Good baby shower. First baby shower I've ever been to, actually, so it was pretty fun. And yeah, all in all, really good time.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
This is the end, beautiful friend. This is the end, my own